Salutations, one and all. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Friday. It's Friday, September the 10th, 2021. My name's Sonia Javette. I will be your hostess today. My special guest today is Miss Pipella. Here she comes. We're going to bring her on.
Hi.
Yay! The crowd goes wild. Eventually, I'll have those tracks where you can do that. That would be so much fun. But not yet. Switch. Boom. Sweet. Clean. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing great. I'm a little sick, but, other than that, we're living the dream. We're doing great.
Well, rest, rehydrate, recover so that you can feel better. Don't need to keep that junk around. Let's see here. So, wow, we were talking before the show started, and this young lady has already amazed my brain. I'm like, what? All right. Let me bring up your bio so I can read it real quick, because I like daring that part. It's fun. I don't know why. And it says Pipella is an asexual, royal core dream punk artist. I have so many questions about that. Who has traveled all over the world to learn about music. Most recently, she has earned her MA, y'all, in global entertainment and music business from Berkeley in Valencia. Valencia, is that California? I'll ask later.
Spain.
Outside of her ambient punk style, she likes to experiment with genres like folk, world, and EDM. Pipella uses her music to talk about the ups and downs of living with mental illness. And you can find her links in the chat here at Austin Music Television. Chat us up. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's happening with this young lady's superpower. Okay, so yeah, that's my first question I like to ask. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, okay. I love this question. Okay. I saw on a Tumblr post like 2 years ago, someone said the ability to refill things. Ooh. I love that as an idea. Like if your bank account is empty, you refill it, or if your drink is empty, you refill it. Oh, I think that's so cool and so like convenient. Like you can do it for other people too. It's not just you, and it's not dangerous, because I feel like if I had a dangerous superpower, like I wouldn't be able to handle it properly. Like I'd hurt myself. Like I'm just saying that.
I love that. I've never heard anybody say that one. That was excellent.
It's cool.
And and would the refillable power be, could you do it over and over and over again for different products? That would be fat, dude. That would be, I would like, I like that one. I would definitely do that one. Go ahead. What part of the world are you in now? You said the class you went to school in Spain?
Yeah. So I studied in Spain. I got my master's in music business at Berkeley, Valencia in Spain. And then I graduated in July. So I just graduated. And
congratulations. That's a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you. I am back in Texas now. I was born and raised in Houston. So I'm back here for a little bit before moving on to other places. We'll see where I go next, but this is where I am right now.
You're close to, I'm in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah.
Thought we can do some things. I love that. Whoa. So that means your passport is current and you're ready to rock and roll.
It is. Yeah. I just updated a couple of visas recently so that I can go when I have the time and money, just
have to talk more about this visa thing. So you have multiple visas because?
So it's not that I have multiple visas. Coming back from Spain, obviously I needed a student visa. But while I was there are certain countries where you can get like a tourist visa almost. And it's good for up to 3 years at least. So I got one for Korea to go back. So I have that for the next 3 years, where it's basically, it's with COVID and everything going on, a lot of places need you to have a visa in order to go in. So it's just kind of that precaution of, I am vaccinated and I will be like healthy when I go. So it's just those kind of things. So I have 2 or 3 of those where it's basic tour.
I haven't traveled yet, so I'm in the preparation because I'm also in school. I got 6 months left. My goal is to start traveling next year, then the summer and beyond. So do you need multiple do you get the visas before you go, or you get them when you get there?
Yeah, so you get a visa before you go. For student visas, it's a really long, complicated process, but that's only if you're going to study in these other countries. For like a tourist visa, at least the one that I have for Korea, it was really easy. You just go online and you fill out the information before you go, and you get it approved within like 4 to 6 weeks, I think, and then you're good to go. So it just kind of depends on
roughly cost.
So I don't know about again, depending on what kind of visa you have, like it's going to cost more or less. The 2 that I have for tourism were each like $30, I think, to go through the process. So pretty cheap as far as visas go. The one that I got as a student, I think, was like $140.
Good.
I cannot promise that because it's been a year now. So
no, that's not bad. That's not bad. All of that's not bad. That's good. That's y'all. She's a young person, and she's already done so much. Immediately became like proud mom, going, "Oh, nice, good job, baby, good job." Okay. Do you have music background? Did you grow up in a music family in your life? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I I grew up around music, not just as like a singer, because I joined choirs when I was like 6 years old. Like I've been in music my whole life, but I also was surrounded by a really creative family. Not all of us are in music, but like all of my siblings are very smart, and they really enjoy like creative outlets like reading. One of them is writing novels now. My brother, it was actually a really big inspiration for me musically because he's an amazing pianist. And then outside of our immediate family, like I have had some really great musical influences in my family. My uncle is a pretty well-known pianist. So he has always been an inspiration to me just because he's been able to like live out his dream. So, I mean, I've been surrounded by music my whole life, but it's really just like how the people in my family have used it that really inspired me.
Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful. Your creative process when you I have all these questions. I want to ask so many questions. You have a new CD, new project coming out, yes?
Yes.
You want to talk about that real quick?
Sure. So I'm someone who plans ahead by like years. So I have like 7 new projects thought out, but the one that's coming up most recently, like coming up soon in the next month or so, I have my first EP coming out. It's called Dancing with Anxiety. And to promote that, I'm actually releasing 2 singles beforehand. So next month, I will have the first single, Self-Sabotage, be coming out. And then November, I'll probably have the second one. And then in December is when I plan to release the EP.
Excellent. Are you releasing them yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you distributing them yourself?
Yeah, I use like DistroKid. Like, yeah, it's all self-made, self-done.
Let's do that. Let's talk about DistroKid.
Okay.
Because that's, for me, that's new. As the mature person in the room, elder, that didn't pop up for me until before pandemic or during pandemic. So I'm like, what is this DistroKid? And then I tried it, and I wasn't familiar enough with it to get comfortable. So explain. Yes, please.
Yeah, so there are a couple of different distributors that you can choose from. DistroKid is the one that I use. There's also like CD Baby and TuneCore. And what they do is they, like, rather than you having to go through all the process of the paperwork, because it can be a really complicated process to try and distribute yourself like completely solo without any help. So what they do is they take your tracks, you upload your song with cover art and description, you upload it to DistroKid or whatever your distribution program is. So you upload it and it sends it out to the different platforms that you want it to go to, whether you can choose to do all of them that they have to offer, which includes Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. I'm trying to think of all of them. It's around the world. They send out to every distributor that they have partnerships with. So like Deezer and different like companies out like in different countries. Yeah. So you basically send it through that, and it does all of your contract work with those companies, and it does all of your like rights as far as like ownership for those like rather than them getting to claim a certain percentage of your like royalties, it kind of brings that back into centerfold and gives you more of an opportunity to claim your own rights. But I also use Songtrust and ASCAP. I'm part of the PRO ASCAP to make sure that I get all of my royalties because that's what's really important. A lot of musicians lose a lot of money because they don't like take the time to make sure that they're getting all of the money that they deserve because they wrote and produced and recorded and distributed technically these songs. So
correct.
So yeah.
Okay, so DistroKid is very similar to CD Baby. CD Baby is where I have been since I started playing, doing the whole digital distribution thing. Yeah. So that's good to know. I just was like, well, what happened to CD Baby? Did that go away? I haven't tried it enough. And then there's Bandcamp. I'm still trying to understand. I'm like, okay, I'm on all the things. Does it work? I don't know. Yes. I'm doing all the things. So that's good. And it's good that you're on the PRO of ASCAP. Lovely. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Love that. For me, the thing that I learned about the PRO was to start when you're doing live shows to keep track of it so you can post it so that you can get credit. Yeah. Money, whatever, however the technology is, terminology is. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I was like, I have been missing out on so much money because I wasn't doing that. Didn't know that it was available because for me, none of these PROs have come to me and gone, hey, this is how we do this and this and this and this. Do you want to come to camp and learn? No, you just kind of go, I need to do this. How do I do this? Then you have to do the research. Pipella and I both agree. Music business is 100% needed in your musicianship as an artist. You need to learn the business as well as being talented. It is so important. A tip that you learned that you would like to share with the audience on that thought process, Miss Pipella?
Oh God, there's so many. I guess right off the bat, I would say that like a lot of artists, what they do right off the bat is they think if I can get a manager, if I can get a contract, then I'll be set. But you need to lay down your own foundation before you even try to get a manager. If you don't know how to do these things for yourself, then you're gonna be taken advantage of. It's going to happen. Also with that, read your contracts. Even if you don't fully understand what the contract is saying, read the entire thing. I know it's going to be like 40 pages long, but that's like, if there's anything that I learned from my copyright and corporate law class, it was read the contract, because you never know what you're getting into, even if it's just like a contract to play at a venue or at a festival. Read the whole thing, because you want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into.
And that is a powerful tip right there. Powerful gem right there. Read.
Yeah.
Don't just sign your life away. That is a beautiful gem. Thank you for that. What? Let's say one. What famous musician would you like to spit? Oh, that's not right. What famous musician would you like to work with? Let's do that.
Oh no.
At least one. Okay.
Yeah. I have, I think every musician has that list of like 30 people where you're like, in the perfect world, I would work with all of these people.
All of them. Thank you.
All of them. I think for me, and this is going to be a really interesting answer. So as we talked about before, my second language is Korean. It's like one of my passions in life. And there is a Korean artist that I would die to work with. Like I would love to work with. There's actually a couple of them, but one specifically is Eric Nam. He's a Korean American performer, and I don't know, there's just something about the way he does his music that's just really like intriguing, and there's nothing super complicated about it. Like he's a fairly typical kind of acoustic soft vibe. Yeah, like a very soft pop artist, but for some reason, every time I listen to his music is so addictive, and I just want to sit down with him and be like, how do you do it? Like, can you just show me? Because it's not like, you're just so good, and I love it.
Something in his timbre of his vocals makes you go, yes, that one.
Exactly. Exactly. But there's so many outside of that too. Like, I mean, Hayley Williams, if someone wants to get me the phone number for Hayley Williams from Paramore, done. Like, I'd be happy. I could quit right now. I'm 23 years old. I quit music because I got to hang out with Hayley Williams for a day. Like,
no, that's not true. Because then you'd be just all addicted. You'd be like, whoa, let's go for it. Like, who's next? Give me this.
Exactly.
Give me that. How about your creative process? What do you? Here's what happens to me. Sometimes a song will come because it's a word, and the word goes and it makes a song. And then sometimes it's a note or a sound or a reaction or a bird, and then there's a song. Or sometimes it's just, here's a part of a song and you will never hear the rest of it for 15 years. I have one of those too.
Yeah, I have a couple of those. So it really depends on if I'm doing it alone or I'm doing it with someone else. If I'm like, a lot of times, so I am a lyricist at heart. Like, that is what I'm good at. It's my bread and butter is writing lyrics. So a lot of times what'll happen is I'll either be, and a lot of what I write about is mental health and just dealing with mental health. And the reason for that is like, I am at my most creative when I'm at my worst, which is not healthy, and I would never suggest it for anyone. But as you're getting healthier, you realize that these things that you've been through are things that you can work off of and show other people that they're not alone. So I think what I do is, in my creative process, I will sit down and I will just kind of either have just gotten out of a bad place or be reflecting on a bad place, and suddenly lyrics just kind of start writing themselves. And that's not always true. Sometimes it'll be, actually, what I've started doing, this is a fun thing, on TikTok, a lot of people will do story times and they'll talk about something that happened to them, and they'll be like, oh, it was so dumb. Like, I can't believe this happened. And I'll message them. I'll be like, can I write a song for you? Like, would you mind? Can I just like take this and write a song for you? And most of the time they're totally cool with it. And they're like, yeah, write me a song. And so that's what I've done a couple of times. And that's been a really fun part of the creative process, because you get to kind of stretch your abilities. But if I'm working with someone else, usually they'll have some kind of melody or something in mind. And that's honestly so much easier for me if they like come in with, oh, I have this little 4-note idea. Like, can you make something from it? And usually it takes me 5 minutes to write something, and then we go back and edit, and then we go back and edit again and again and again. I'm an advocate for 5-time edits. You go back 5 times and you continue to edit, and then once you're done with editing, you give it to someone else and you see what they think.
I like that.
Yeah.
Are you using the different soft articulation of vocabulary? I can speak words. Are you using Logic or Pro Tools or Ableton to create?
So I got really lucky going to Berkeley, because I made a friend who is just a wizard with Ableton, and so she was able to teach me a lot. So right now I use Ableton to come up with little things, but I am still at the beginning of my learning. I'm not that good yet. So right now what I do when I write lyrics is I'll have a metronome and I'll write lyrics to a metronome, or I'll write lyrics to a melody someone else gives me, or I will have a melody that I've just done on like piano and just like add the lyrics on top of that, and then go in and into Ableton, or I'll call her and be like, "Hi, I have a new one. You want to help?" And she's always like, "Yes, let's do it. What is it? Like, show it to me." And that's usually how our creative process works, because I am collaborative at heart. I don't believe in having to do everything by yourself just to say you did it by yourself. Like, I know that she's better than me at this, so I'm going to ask for her help. Or like, if there's a musician that I really want to work with, I'll call them up and be like, "Hi, come help me. Like, I have the lyrics done. I have the melody done. I have all of this finished. I have a basic structure for you. Let's go. Let's work on it." And that's usually how it ends up.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ask you how many instruments you play?
No.
How many instruments do you play, Papilla?
Only 2. Like, it's I am a drummer.
What?
Yeah, that's what I kind of got my start in. I started in drumline when I was in high school, and I just kind of stuck with it. So now I mostly play like cajon and djembe and like kalimba, because it's easier than having to carry around an entire drum set, you know?
Correct, yes.
So those, and then I used to be pretty good at piano. I have a very basic knowledge of piano now. I would not, like, if someone's like, "Hey, come play piano for us," I'm like, "No, that's a bad idea."
You see my chart, or you can't see it, but I have a piano chart and I have a new keyboard, and I'm still going, how you turn this thing on? How you make it? Because it's MIDI. It's MIDI and it's MIDI. Anyway, it's great. It sounds beautiful. Once I turn it on, I'm like, okay, now what? How do you turn it up? How you turn the volume up? I don't see a volume control because it's got all these. Anyway, playing multiple instruments is I believe very powerful in helping you become a more creative person. My first instrument, of course, is my voice, and then guitar, and then piano, and then drums, and then bass, and then clarinet. I played clarinet in middle school.
Oh my god!
It's the embouchure. You're gonna put your embouchure here and put the yeah.
I see. Yeah, I wish I played more instruments. I still tell myself, like, I'm still young, so I tell myself that I'm going to pick up another instrument. Honestly, any age you are, like, if you want to play an instrument,
do it.
Go learn to play an instrument. Like, you can do it. Like, I fully believe in you. I just, like, I start it and then I get shy because I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I get in my own head about it, and then I'll stop playing. And I'm like, and then I'll come back to it like 6 months later. I'm like, why did you stop? You could have actually been kind of good by now.
Right.
At least you would know the basics.
A little something.
Yeah. But, you know.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I don't know where she is right now. She's somewhere in this house. But I have a dog. Her name is Sophie. She's like 10 years old now. She's getting old. So I have her. But she's actually my mom's dog. So I guess for myself, I wish I had my own pet, but I don't, just because I've been traveling so much. Like, I haven't been in one place for longer than a year since I was in high school, I think. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. Your journey in life is so amazing. Do you have any hobbies that are not music?
Yeah. So I am a dancer. That's like my biggest hobby. That's what I use for. I don't like working out, so that's what I use to work out. Like my cardio.
Is a workout. That's a workout.
It's a workout. Thank you.
That is a huge workout.
Thank you. Yeah, I used to be on a couple of dance crews, so that was kind of how I spent a lot of my time. I actually have a dance video out right now that's a remix to my first ever release, and that's on my YouTube. So if y'all want to go look at that, you can.
That would have that would be cool. I could have played that on here.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. We'll do this again in a year. And we're like, okay, what's going on?
More, and you can show all. You can show all of them. It'll be great.
That's right.
Yeah, and then I really, in the last year, I've really started enjoying cooking. Like I didn't really used to cook before, but I found out I am actually pretty good at it.
What do you like to cook?
So I
was gonna say Korean food.
Yes, actually, I was like, let's branch out a little bit. So yeah, I do cook Korean food, but I make really good, like, Southern comfort food, like a good. I made, while I was in Spain, we did like a Southern comfort night, and I made brisket and like sweet potato casserole. I made mashed potatoes. I made like cheesy biscuits. I made some collard greens. It was, yeah.
What? Who said you know how to make collard greens? What? Wait a minute. What you put?
Google did. Google said I knew.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Not a family recipe. I wish, but it was one of those things where I was like, what all should I make? And honestly, I think I had a plan to do something else, and they didn't. I mean, in Spain, their obviously ingredients are kind of different, so I just was like, you know what? I know how to make. I know the general idea of how to make collard greens, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna run with it. So it was like an interesting mix of like, I couldn't even tell you. Like, I think I know the Spanish names to the vegetables, but I don't know. It was good. It was good. Like, I know it was good, so that's what matters.
Oh, that's so sweet. Miss Pepella, would you grace us with one of your songs, please?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Pepella, I'm going to go poof, and she's going to treat you with some beautiful ear candy. Crowd goes.
So this is actually a song that I released recently. It is completely raw and emotional, so I hope you'll like it. This is Penny Thoughts. All that you ask for is what I can't give. Every conversation just a means to an end. I want the promise and you want the proof. If you walk away, that's one more thing I lose. 'Cause I don't have the answers, and you don't have the time. If we make it back from this, I bet my pennies a dime. Bet my pennies a dime. Bet my pennies a dime. In the beginning, we had stars in our eyes. I didn't notice they started to die. I called you every night, but you hung up the line. You wanted the world, but I just wanted you. I don't have the answers, you don't have the time. If we make it back from this, bet my pennies a dime. Bet my pennies a dime. Bet my pennies a dime. You flipped a coin, said we should call it. Asked for my love, but you couldn't give it. Nothing to say. Be a miracle if we stay. 'Cause I don't have the answers, and you don't have the time. If we make it back from this, I bet my pennies a dime. bet my pennies a dime. I bet my pennies a dime.
Our crowd goes wild. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful,
Thank you so
beautiful,
much.
beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
What wow, so many questions about that song.
Feel free to ask any of them. I accept.
So does the world. Ding.
Sorry, that was my mom. So she's like upstairs. She's like, sounds good. I was like, thanks,
Mom, are you watching on TV?
I think she can just hear me. I wish she was watching on TV.
Oh.
Oma. No, she can't hear me. It's fine.
Okay. Talented young lady. Do you like to eat food before you perform or after? I mean, I know generally after, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get you. So I always had the trick of eating marshmallows beforehand because it like coats your throat and it makes it like feel a little bit better. Like it helps with the like sound quality, I guess. But these days I am just now getting over my stage fright. I've had stage fright my whole life. And so I've noticed that if I eat anything beforehand, I like get even like I feel like I'm gonna get sick. And I'm like, oh no, let's not do that. Why? Hold on. Let me mute this.
I am not able to eat before I perform, especially like 10, 20 minutes. It won't. My stomach will be like, it's coming at you right now.
Yeah.
So sorry, not sorry. But after the show, get out of my face because I'm gonna eat everything in my vicinity that I can get a hold of that's healthy. I try.
Oh my gosh.
I like it. It's right on time though.
So sorry.
It's like yes, that's right.
It won't turn off. Y'all are just gonna hear
No, it's
my family freaking out. So sorry about
the
that.
world agreeing to what we're talking about. That's what's happening. So the mental health part. Are you tapped into any programs that you want to pitch out there for mental health and things? Yes.
Yeah. So so I'm very open about the mental illnesses that I deal with on a daily basis. And I actually have a really cool opportunity coming up soon, not with this release, but the one after that. I told y'all I plan like 7 releases ahead. The next one, I'm actually going to be working with, or I'm in discussions to work with a mental health based clothing company called Soul Batteries. They're a fairly small company, but they give 15% of their proceeds to the National Alliance of Mental Illness or National Association of Mental Illness. I apologize if it's one, not the other. I'm not sure which one. NAMI is what I usually call it. But yeah, they're the ones that I have been working with really closely and kind of figuring out my next steps as far as working with mental health organizations. Other than that, there are a few that I strongly support and believe in. NAMI is one of them as far as mental health organizations. And there are some that I think could be doing better, but I don't know that it's fully my place to call them out, only because I think that there are people who are benefiting from them. And I think that there are some that are doing an amazing job, and I don't want to accidentally switch the names and cause a problem, But yeah, if you're going to support a mental health organization or a clothing brand that sponsors mental health, I would fully suggest Soul Batteries. Their stuff is super cute. It's like they have like jackets with cute little like serotonin designs on it, and they're all handmade, so it's really cool. Or go support NAMI because they are doing a really great job with like proper communication of what mental illnesses are. But also, I mean, like I follow a bunch of different mental health communities on Instagram, and for the most part, they're really great. A lot of people are starting to wake up to the fact that mental illness is illness, and there are a lot of us out there who do deal with a lot of different things, and it does affect our lives. And I think that the more we talk about it, the more that's destigmatized, and the more people are willing to get the help that they need or find solutions to the things that are causing them problems. So, the more I can talk about it, the more I think it'll help. So
that is correct. As a POC and a woman growing up, laughed a lot about the stigma is we don't do therapy, we don't do doctors, we don't do that. We keep it inside and then we figure it out as we grow. But having been a person who has gone to therapy and gone and had some mental health things helpful for me, learn that talking about whatever the problem is makes you become more secure in yourself, because if you keep it all locked inside, it just festers and becomes a big giant wound, and then it'll come out sideways, and it does. It will come out sideways, which is not what you want ever. So I'm all for mental health, period, especially being women and women of color and LGBTQ, because I'm one of those people that fits all the categories: woman, POC, and LGBTQIA person. So it's like, yeah,
I'm the A at the end of that.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that for a second, if you're okay with that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Please, how'd you get to that decision to be asexual? And definition asexual.
Yeah. So being asexual is just like being gay or a lesbian or having any sexual identity. It is who I am. And it's something that I discovered about myself fairly recently, within the last 2 years. I came out as asexual last year. And honestly, what it is, to define it, it just means that you don't have sexual attraction towards anyone, or that it comes up in very specific situations. So being asexual is a spectrum. Like, there's gray sexual, demisexual, agiosexual, which is, so there's a big range of different like flavors of asexual, which I like to call it, because all of them are sweet and all of them are worthy of being tasted. Sorry. Yeah. So,
I like it. That's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, the way that I discovered it, I always thought that the way that I felt was the way that everybody felt. Like, just that, like, being attracted to people was like seeing a pretty painting and being like, oh, it's so pretty. The end. Like, I've never experienced the like want to sleep with someone. It's just like, even when I've been in relationships, like I wanted to hold their hand, I wanted to kiss them, I wanted to spend time with them, but my brain was never went that far as to be like, oh, I want to have sex. Like, it just didn't. But what actually, for me, what happens is I identify more as demisexual, which is when you have created an emotional connection with someone, then you become sexually attracted to them. So I've noticed that in me is like, if I create a really, really strong emotional bond with someone, I am more open and willing to sleep with them. But at the same time, I am a sex positive asexual. There are plenty of asexuals who are adverse completely. They never want to do it. It's not interesting at all. Like some are completely repulsed by it. Some are neutral. They're like, oh, if I'm dating someone and they want to, I'll do it, but I don't really care. For me, it's
fascinating.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating.
For me, it's like, yeah, I'll do it. It's fun. I enjoy it, but don't think that I'm going to call you after, because it had nothing to do with you. Like, it's.
So another pandemic, I learned a lot. Is that like Superpower? sapo people, or they're just that word? Say it again.
Sapiosexual.
Sapio. Just they're only interested or attracted to you by intelligence. I found that amazing. I was like, what?
Yeah,
That is fascinating to me.
I think that's a part of it. I think that is considered. I don't want to speak for anybody who is sapiosexual and say like that is incorrect, but I think a lot of people would consider that at least part of the spectrum of asexuality.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, this is why I talk about it so much, why I'm so like out and proud about being asexual, is there are almost no asexual celebrities or musicians out there that you know of.
Or heard of, or even
heard of. Yeah.
What? I heard of the word asexual when I was in middle school, and I was like, you're 12 years old. How you sexual anything? That ain't no. So well done, my friend. Well done. Just thank you for sharing your knowledge, because I didn't know. Wow.
It's a confusing topic. It definitely is for a lot of people.
But it's good to talk about, though. So, because there's the people that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have an awareness of it. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important to talk about. I think a lot of people don't realize that they are asexual until a lot later in life because it's not talked about.
Truth.
It's kind of stigmatized. A lot of people will say like they'll say that you just haven't found the right person, which I mean everybody in the LGBT community has heard that, and it's like no, it's not going to happen.
Hate that phrase.
Not interested.
Okay, let you have a porcupine. How about that? Anyway. Okay, flipping the channel. So, if you were a musical instrument, what would you be?
Oh, a vibraphone.
Is that the thing that goes in your hand?
No, it's like the giant version of xylophone. Like it's like the big vibes. It's like the big.
It's a bigger version.
Yeah, it's like a palette of like these keys, like ringing keys that you like. It's a percussion instrument.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. I have to see that. I don't know what that one is. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
I was like, what? She's fun. Did I ask you what birth sign you are?
I'm a Libra.
Balance. She's
balance. My birthday's in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think.
Oh, sweet. Have super mega plans? Gonna do something fun?
Oh, me? I think we're talking about taking a trip for my birthday because it'll be my 24th birthday. And we were talking about going to Epcot, but I don't think that's going to happen now because it's like the 50th anniversary of Disney and it's just going to be crazy and
sick. That'll be crazy. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know about that one, but we might, my sibling lives in Nashville, so we might go up there, get a room at the Omni, do a little like spa day, treat ourselves. And I always have my mom with me, so
and go check out the Bluebird Cafe.
Yes, exactly. Oh, my uncle's actually played there, I think.
What?
Yeah,
that's one of my bucket list places I want to play at.
Same. Yeah. It's definitely on my list. I have, you have like those lists on your phones of like just random
stuff
things
that I want to do. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mine is just like the venues.
I'm going to do a commercial. And when we come back from the commercial, will you bring us another song, please?
Absolutely.
All right. Spectacular. Let me find the button. Thank y'all so much for being here. Austin Music Television, Channel 16. If you have any questions for Miss Babella, please type it in the chat. I love that. It's on point every time. It's so funny. Okay. Poof you and bring up the commercial. Poof.
Hello. All right. So this one for y'all is actually one that I got to collaborate with a friend from China over Clubhouse. So I hope y'all like it. Let me pull it up for you. You know, I forgot all my instruments, so this is gonna be fun. I'm a navigator, running free, and where I go is up to me, and where we are is where we'll be, 'cause I'm a navigator, flying free. I'm a navigator, running wild, and where we end up will make you smile. Look up to the stars and hear them cry, smiling down for you and I. I'm a navigator, flying free, and where we go is up to me, and where we are is where we'll be, 'cause I'm a navigator, flying free.
So is the birds the part of the song as well?
Yeah, the person I worked with, we met on Clubhouse, and he played me this handpan song that he had made, and I was like, I just wrote lyrics to that as you were playing. Can I show them to you? And so he played it again, and I did the lyrics, and he ended up sending me the audio file, and that was the audio file, and it was just like, go for it, go crazy. And I was like, oh, okay, great day in my life. So yeah.
I love it. Beautiful. I was like, she's got birds. Where's the birds at? And the song is so pretty. And it's a hand. What's it called? The thing? The instrument?
Handpan.
Handpan.
Yeah, it's like a circle.
Like an upside down tortoise shell.
Yeah, basically. They're so fun and so cool.
I want one.
Me too.
And then I saw the price and I went, just a minute.
Yeah.
Like, just a minute. Let me get some more coins.
Yeah, it's like, give me like 5 years and then I'll get one.
Because then you got to figure out how to carry it. That's the one thing about gear, though. Every time you get something new, you got to have a case. A case for all your things, which is like what? And more gear. Okay, more stuff. More stuff.
And then just carrying all of your gear on, like, piling it on yourself. You're like, I don't have the strength. I don't have the upper body strength for this.
That's why you put everything on wheels, my friend.
Oh.
That's why all my gear is 90% on wheels.
Well, that makes more sense. There you go. Tip for everybody. Put it on wheels.
Put it on wheels or get you one of those really cute carts. I have one. They're little red wagon. Mm-hmm. My little red wagon folds up. I think they call them beach wagons now. But it's got these big giant wheels.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you put your finger into the flat of it and you can just pull it up and it folds. And I was like, this is brilliant. Mine. Great for gigs.
My brother has one of those for his kids. He like wheels his kids around in them.
It holds up to 300 pounds, I think. Right. You yes, you could. Yes, you could. So we were talking about performing on stage live. Performance anxiety. Have you performed live shows a lot with the anxiety And what's your anxiety tip
Yeah.
to reduce it?
So I have been performing on stage my whole life, probably. I I was in choirs for my entire childhood up through high school. So that for me was always easier. Being in a group of people just was always easy. And then I was also a worship leader, like a church singer. But we were like, a modern band. So we had like one singer and a whole band, and it was like star time. Which you probably shouldn't be thinking about when you're talking about church, but whatever.
You gotta get paid. Wait, you gotta get paid. God wants you to get paid too and eat some and have some food.
Thank you.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started.
Good food. I went to one of those churches that fed you afterwards. Oh, yes. Anyway, but yeah, so I have always had, for some reason, I think it started in like middle school or later in high school, I just started getting to the point where if I tried to go out there alone, if I tried to do my own solo work, my knees would buckle, I would shake, I would get tunnel vision. Like it was just bad. Like I didn't think that was half the reason why I didn't pursue being a musician sooner, because I thought I was never going to be able to do it. But then what happened was I started doing, I mean, since being an artist, I've only performed 3 or 4 times because pandemic, and then also like, it's only been 5 months. But I just I took the advice of this girl that I met who gave me vocal exercises to do beforehand. So you're kind of tricking yourself out of being nervous. And it's one of them is super easy. I think she actually has a TikTok where she shows this, but it's basically just about holding out long notes. Like you just pick a note that's comfortable and you just hold it out, and then you start doing scales with it. And for some reason, it trains your brain down from the anxiety, and you just get more comfortable, and then you get on stage and you just don't think about it too much. But then as far as like being on stage, what I have learned is like, they're going to judge you anyway. Like whether you're amazing or horrible, they're going to judge you. So if you're going to crash and burn, make it as bright and fiery as possible. And on top of that, like my performances that I've done were in front of Berklee students. So amazing, talented musicians and future music professionals, like should be the most terrifying situation. But honestly, just knowing that they have all been where I am, or they are where I am right now, just kind of gave me the confidence to be like, all right, well, if this sucks, you can't judge me because I've seen you suck. And like one thing that Izzy has said, she runs Fame Hackers. She has said, start messily. Start messy, stay messy, like get messy so that you can get cleaner. So what I've been doing recently with my stage fright is just in my head, I keep saying like, start messy, get messy, let it be messy, let it be ugly, let it be horrible, and then move on. Be a goldfish, Ted Lasso. Be a goldfish, move on. Like next step, make it better. If you continue to improve yourself, and if you you're still going to have the anxiety, it's still going to be there, because it's not about, you're not anxious to succeed. You're anxious because you don't know what people are going to think of you, or at least that's how it is for me. So if you just kind of decide like, I'm doing this for me, and I'm going to make it messy, and I'm going to make it ugly, because the next time it's going to be better, and the next time it's going to be better and better and better and better, then I have been able to come to terms with my own anxiety and just be like, all right, we're going to use it. We're just going to go for it and just make it horrible and disgusting and ugly, and let it be something that goes viral on YouTube for just being a massive mess. And next time it won't. So, it's kind of a chaotic answer, but
no,
anxiety is chaos. So
perfect answer, because it's yours. How about that? So the anxiety part for me, my trick is to remember the first word. If I can remember the first word or the first note, then I'm good. If I
Yeah.
can't remember that part, then it's gonna be messy and it's gonna be pretty and it's gonna be on fire, as you have said. And let's talk about Izzy for a second. I love Izzy. If y'all don't know who Izzy is, it Budello?
I think it's Bodea.
Budeo? Izzy Budeo. If you haven't heard of her, check out what Izzy does. She's a master at helping artists become better at becoming successful in their careers, and she's willing to work with you. Famehackers.com,
Yeah.
believe is the best avenue, but check her out. And if she's listening now, Izzy, we love you. We love you so much. And I
Also, her
appreciate,
Instagram.
say again.
Also, her Instagram has a bunch of tips. If you don't want to like do the full Fame Hackers, go to her
Follow her,
Instagram.
yeah.
There's Instagram, and she has a lot
And
of
we're
tips.
both following her, so if you can't find her, then follow us on the Instagram, and you'll find
Follow us
her.
anyway.
But she is amazing with helping.
Yeah.
And let me run my signs here. So here in Austin, we have the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. If you want to support some musicians in this town, please send your donations to HAM, Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. It helps you with insurance. It helps you with mental health, dental, and insurance. It'll help you get that direction. And then the other one that I want to plug for musicians is Music Cares. Donations to them is huge. They did so wonderful with helping me during the pandemic because I was like, I can't do nothing. I am a full-time working musician, so I'm grateful for musiccares.org. Please check them out if you want to support musicians and help musicians in Austin, Texas, but Music Cares is United States wide that I'm aware of. And let's see here. My wonderful guest today has been Miss Pipella, and I have enjoyed you immensely. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be Pipella when I grow up. Shoo, all the traveling. Let's go. What's the best advice you've been given musically?
Oh, musically. I had a professor at Berkeley who he was one of those people who was kind of crazy, but he always used to say that if you didn't love it, you wouldn't be here. And if you do love it, why not make the most of it? And I know that's really simple, but I think it was something that I definitely needed to hear, and I know it's something that other musicians need to hear. If you didn't love music, if you don't love music, you're not going to be successful in your own eyes, because success really depends on you. You define what success means to you. And if you're not in music because you have like a clear goal or a love or a passion for it, then you're never going to reach what you define as success. And then on top of that, if you do love it, and if you're in it because you love it, what's the point of being scared? Like it's not worth it to go through this process and be frightened and be hesitant about yourself, because you are as talented as you are talented. You know you're talented. And even if you're not as talented as the next person, if you have the drive and you have the passion and you have the mental push to learn how to be more talented, because there's always ways to learn. There's always things to learn. If you have that, then you are going to be far and above ahead the person who's just naturally talented but does nothing with it. So I think that was really the advice that kind of got me through my master's and is getting me through life right now. It's truth.
It's very true. There's only one you.
Exactly.
Nobody can do, plenty of imitators out there copy you all up and down, but there's nobody that's you. Be you, be, do, have, be the best you can be. Go through all the no's so you can get to that fat yes, because it is out there. Do the best you can.
Exactly.
My whole show is about lifting as I climb. So I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you.
yourself with us, Miss Pipella. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me so much. Ugh. Yeah, I love what you stand for, and I love the show. So I'll be back here in a
And
year
tell your
or so.
friends, because I want some more. Give me some more people. Y'all come on now. I need some more people. Come on. Come on.
I'll send you a list.
People. All right, I'm gonna do the end here. I'm gonna pull you off, pull me off, and thank y'all so much for being here. Here comes the closing shot.